Have you ever explained exactly why you picked something with total confidence? Were you right? You probably think so, but your brain might actually have made the reason up afterwards. Together we are going to dive deeper into the psychological research behind introspection. Welcome back to Penguin Academy. We all believe we have a window into our own heads. It's the whole foundation of self-help, therapy podcasts, and of every "I'm just someone who" sentence you've ever said about yourself. So here's the question nobody telling you to look within wants you to ask: what if that explanation is a story, not a memory? You are not the author of your behavior, you're the guy doing the voiceover. In 1977, psychologists Richard Nisbet and Timothy Wilson published a paper with a devastating title, Telling More Than We Can Know. Across a pile of experiments, they found the same thing. People confidently explain their choices, and their explanations are often wrong, not lies. They genuinely believe them. Their brain hands them a plausible sounding reason, and they read it out loud, unaware that it's just a guess. Their simplest demonstration is almost insulting. Shoppers were shown 4 pairs of stockings laid out on a table and asked which was the best quality. They picked the pair on the right 4 times as often as the pair on the left. The stockings were identical, every single pair. When asked why they chose theirs, nobody said position. They all talked about the knit, the sheerness, and the feel. When the experimenters asked directly whether the order on the table might have influenced them, people denied it and looked at the researcher like he'd lost the plot. That's the whole problem explained in one table of socks. The actual cause of the choice was completely invisible to them. The reasons were not. You don't have a window into your own mental machinery. You have a narrator who's winging it. It gets worse, and this one's a magic trick. Researchers Peter Johansson and Lars Hall ran a study where people picked which of 2 faces they found more attractive. Then, using actual sleight of hand, the experimenters handed them the face they didn't pick and asked them to explain their choice. Most people, in some versions around 70 to 80%, didn't notice the swap, and then cheerfully explained why they chose the face they had actually rejected. I liked her smile. She wasn't the one you picked, my friend. They called it choice blindness. And it's been repeated with jam, tea, and even people's own political opinions. Sit with what that means. Your brain will defend a choice you never made, with total confidence, and feel like it's telling the truth. The reason wasn't stored, it was factored on demand. Where does this made-up reason come from? Neuroscientist Michael Gazzaniga studied split-brain patients, people whose 2 brain hemispheres had been surgically disconnected, and he could feed an instruction to one hemisphere, watch the patient act on it, and then ask the other, talking hemisphere, why they did it. That hemisphere had no idea, so it invented a reason, instantly, smoothly, and with total confidence. Michael called this the interpreter, a mode whose entire job it is to spin a tidy story for whatever your body just did. You have a press secretary in your head, and it never says, I don't know. It always has a ready quote. Here's the part that should actually change your behavior, because it isn't just that introspection is unreliable. Sometimes doing more of it makes the decision worse. Timothy Wilson and Jonathan Schooler tested this directly. They had people rate things, jams, university courses, and art posters, and asked half of them to first write down the reasons for their preferences. The reason writers' ratings drifted away from expert consensus. In the poster version, students who analyzed why they liked each one made different choices, and when researchers checked back weeks later, those students were less happy with the poster they'd taken home than the ones who just picked whichever one they liked. Why would explaining to yourself make you choose worse? Because your press secretary can only work with reasons it can put into words. The composition is balanced is sayable. Something about it makes the room feel calm is not, so it gets cut from the report. Then you make a decision based on the report instead of the feeling. And the report was never the full picture. You didn't gain insight. You got a shorter, more articulate, worse version of what you actually wanted. So, sit down and really think it through is decent advice for a mortgage and terrible advice for a sofa. Reasons help when things genuinely run on reasons. When you're dealing with taste or a gut read on a person, writing out justifications mostly trains you to want the justifiable thing. This is why so much introspection quietly fails. I'm just not a morning person. I procrastinate because I'm a perfectionist. I'm attracted to the wrong people because of my childhood. Some of those might be true, but you have no reliable way to know from the inside. Because the machine generating those explanations is the same press secretary that defended a face you never chose. Staring harder into your own mind doesn't get you to the truth. It gets you to a more elaborate, fake story. So, what do you trust instead? Not nothing, just not the voiceover. Here are the moves you can make with some evidence behind them. Trust behavior over self-report. What you actually did last month predicts you better than what you say you do. Look at the tape, not the commentary. Run tiny experiments. Don't ask, am I a morning person? Change one variable and watch what happens. Data beats narration. Ask people who you know about the right things. Semeen Vazir's work suggests the split is predictable, and you're the better judge of what happens inside you. How anxious you run, how much you're actually enjoying this. They are the better judge of the things you can't watch yourself doing. How charming, how funny, or how competent you come across in a room. So point the outward-facing questions outward. Hold your self-stories loosely. I'm just someone who is a hypothesis, not a fact. Let it be wrong sometimes. Now for your homework. The next time you catch yourself giving a confident, I did that because, pause and honestly ask, do I actually know that? Or did my brain just hand me a clean reason? Bonus point if you caught yourself confabulating in real time. Tell me in the comments the best reason you caught yourself inventing. I read them and I promise mine might be even worse. So, for the takeaway, you're not lying to anyone and you're not broken. You're a brilliant storytelling animal with a press secretary who confuses the story for the truth. Knowing that won't silence the narrator, but you can't stop taking dictation. Watch what you do, that's the real record. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for new penguin psychology videos. And if the hype button is up, go on, give it a hype. This penguin professor believes in you. Or at least that's the reason my interpreter just gave me.